How we doing? Come on in my Kentucky kitchen and let's get some food started. We're gonna have breakfast for lunch. So I'll tell you kind of what I got going on. I have some bacon in the oven. I have my oven on 400 degrees. And I just take the bacon on a full line cookie sheet and put it in there in the oven and let it cook. I have a couple of sheets of that going. And right now I'm going to make some sweet tea. So I have my tea jar and I have 4 tea bags in it. And I just pour in, probably about a cup of sugar. Maybe a little more, depends on how sweet you like it. We like ours real sweet. So about this much sugar. And then I boil water in my kettle and just pour that in. And that way that'll be steeping and it'll be ready for us when we get ready to eat. Just like that. And I'll fill it all the way up. And just let it steep. And that's how I make my sweet tea. Alright, so we'll set that aside. Now in this bowl, I have 1 pound of sausage. And just plain old any kind of sausage. I got Jimmy Dean, that's what we like. So that, or there's a place around here that's called Jake's Sausage. And that's real good. We get that sometimes. We get that out once at the Quick Stop. And I noticed that Foodland, our little grocery store down the street here, had it. So, and I'm just going to put cheese in this sausage. So, and I'm emptying a couple of different bags. So that's about not even a half cup of, it's called cheddar melt. It's just basically a cheddar cheese. And this one is just a mild cheddar. I had 3 or 4 bags that needed emptying. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this cheese up. And that was about 1/4 of a cup. It didn't have much in it. But we want to make sure we have enough cheese in here. Alright, so now on this one I'm going to put, I think the recipe calls for maybe a cup or a cup and a half. So we're going to put about maybe 3/4 of a cup because we like ours real cheesy. Now, it takes, this is a bacon mix that I have. I don't use a whole lot of bacon mix. I use it for pancakes sometimes. So this just has a little bit in it. So what I'm going to do, I think the recipe calls for a couple of tablespoons, if I'm not mistaken. So I already have plenty. This is a teaspoon. And if you didn't know, 3 teaspoons make 1 tablespoon. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? I'm just going to put it all. There's about 5 teaspoons in there. So that's what I'm going to use. Put that in my garbage bag. And that's my garbage bag. Those go in my garbage bag. We're going to get all this mess cleaned up, right? Empty all those little packages that we had left over from Christmas. And I'm going to put some sour cream in mine. Just because I think it makes them more moist. So I'm going to put about maybe 1/4 of a cup. Not a whole lot. About 1/4 of a cup of sour cream in there. Okay? Now, this is what it looks like right here. Okay? So now you just got to get in there with your hands and get it all mixed up. Tell her to come see me, please. Don't be tattletaling either. Okay. That's my grandson. He's telling on Susie. That's funny. Little ones do that, right? He's, what is he, 7, I guess. And then my 15-year-old grandson is here as well. And I think it looks like we have enough cheese in here.
It's always for some reason.
Okay. I'll be in there in a few minutes. Let me get breakfast going, buddy. Okay? I guess I should have done my pan before I did all this, right? And so then we just take, I tell you what I've got. And I love this little tool because it works so well for this. I love the little tool. Let's see, where is it? Here it is. See, you think when you're coming on here making a video, you get everything out and ready to go. But you know what? It never works that way. Let me wash my hands. I'll be right back. You got raw meat, so you got to use, good soap and get all that off of there because you don't want any cross-contamination. All right, so now I got that. And let me get my pan here and some foil. All right. So now I just take a cookie sheet and shiny side down. We put the dull side up. I smell that bacon cooking. Ooh, if y'all had smell-o-vision, it would smell so good right now. You'd get hungry. You'd get real hungry. Let me peek at it. Oh, it's looking good. And, you can do different things with that bacon like that. You can put maple on it. That would be really, really good if you put the maple on there. And to do that, you just get your maple syrup and a little brown sugar, and you're good to go. So this little thing makes perfect little balls. Perfect little sausage balls. And if you want smaller ones, I have a smaller thing. And you can do that. So you just line them up on this cookie sheet here, just like this. See that, Christopher? We're going to have sausage balls for breakfast. You want to say hello? Come over here. Say hello to everybody, buddy. Tell them good morning. There you go. See? Look up here. Look at them. Let them see those pretty blue eyes, just like Nanny. Say good morning.
Good morning. I think smoke overrated.
Yo, Paul's out there. You want to go out and see him? Put you some shoes and your jacket on, baby. You got to have your shoes on to go outside.
But I don't step on the sticker bushes.
That's right. So you don't step on the sticker bushes. Plus, it's a little bit cool outside, so you need to stay kind of warm. Yeah? Get your new jacket that Nanny got you for Christmas and put it on. Nanny and Paul. I think it's in there on the couch where you slept last night, buddy.
I don't know.
I think that's where it is. Nanny seen it on the floor, and I picked it up and put it up there this morning.
I put a blanket on it like where I slept last night.
Yeah.
Blanket.
So you just continue on making your sausage balls. And depending on how big you make them is how many you're going to have. If you want them smaller, like if I was doing it just an hors d'oeuvre, then I'd make little small ones. But since, this is just going to be for our breakfast, I'm going to make them bigger. And this is a medium-sized scoop. I just got it from Walmart, and it has this little lever, so everything pops right out. So let me wash my hands again. I see you. Go see what Paul's doing. You want to take Roxy with you?
Yeah.
All right, call for it.
Roxy!
She's right here. There you go, Roxy. You want to go outside?
Come on.
You want to go outside?
No,
I don't think she wants to. Oh, you going to give her a treat this morning? Okay, so now we're going to set this aside.
Come on.
And then we're going to check on our bacon. Yeah. Whew. That heat gets you when you open that door, right? So now I have 2 pans in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch them. I'm going to put the pan on the top, on the bottom, and one on the bottom, on the top. And we're going to do that. And this bacon is almost done. So, I am going to go ahead and get my plate and a paper towel and put that on there so that when it comes out, then I'll have my plate ready to take it up with the bacon. And then you can just set it either in the microwave or on top of your stove if you use a glass plate, and it'll keep it warm, okay? Or, you know, I'll tell you what I could do. I'll tell you what I will do. I'm just going to line my cast iron skillet, and I'll put it, you know how in your oven there's always that back burner that's to the left that heats up? It's the exhaust for the oven is what it is. So I'll set this on that. It'll warm up my cast iron skillet, and it'll keep my bacon warm. There you go, a built-in warmer. Okay, now, our next thing, we want to clean this up. And I don't think that I got any of the sausage on my cutting board. That's why I had this wax paper. Okay, and I'll put that in my little garbage. But just to be on the safe side, I am going to wipe it off. There we go. And get my area cleaned up. If you clean up as you go, then it's not so hard to clean up later. And that's what I like, easy cleanup. All right, now I'm going to set this aside for a minute. And get out my biscuit bowl. And I'll show you what, let me throw some of this garbage out. Make myself some room. There we go. Now then, put this sour cream up because I'm done with it. Now we got it going on. Oh, and I need my buttermilk. Well, I'll get it together. You know, you get on here and you think you've got everything together, and then once you get on here, you realize, oh, maybe I don't have everything together, and I need my sifter. So let me grab that. And you get on here and you're like, oh, I forgot this. Oh, I forgot this. Oh, I forgot this. So, now, what we're going to do, here's my biscuit bowl. What we're going to do is we're going to get in here and we're going to sift where we made our biscuits the last time, okay? You should always sift your flour. It doesn't matter if you're making a cake, if you're making biscuits, if you're, whatever you're doing, you know, not just for your biscuit bowl, but whatever you're doing, you need to sift your flour. It puts air into it and fluffs it up, and it will make whatever you're baking nice and light and airy. And then when your biscuits, you know, you don't always get every little bit of that dough out, so you want to make sure and get all that out. Now let me check on my bacon again. We don't want our bacon to burn up, but look at here. It is just about done. Let me put that oven back on the top. And remember, when you take it off like this, when you take it off, that bacon is going to continue to cook. Now, I like my bacon kind of chewy. I don't like it hard and crunchy. So you see that? I'm trying not to dump the bacon grease out. And you can still save your renderings from, I don't know where my tongs are. Again, I don't have everything out. We'll just use a fork. All right. So then we're just going to pull this up and put it in here. And that way it's going to continue to cook. It'll stay warm. And you know, bacon always shrinks, right? But here's, oh, hot, hot, hot. Here's a piece, a good piece of bacon. And I like it because it stays nice and flat. Now we're going to put our sausage balls in and let them start cooking. And just about the time the bacon and the sausage balls come out, then we are going to be ready to put in. We're actually, I think instead of biscuits this morning, we are going to have cinnamon rolls. And that was kind of the main reason I wanted to show you this video, is because we want to do cinnamon rolls this morning out of biscuit dough. So I've got my little baking sheet. You know, just a casserole dish, 9 by 13. And this is a new one that I got for Christmas. That's what I asked for Christmas, was some nice casserole dishes, and I did. I got a bunch of them. My son and my husband both got me nice casserole dishes. So we're going to set that over there out of the way. Like that, so we'll have plenty of room. Now, we're just going to make a basic biscuit dough, okay? So I'm going to start with about, say, a good, maybe extra large egg or 2 medium eggs is about how much I want to start with, okay? So, and then we shake our buttermilk. You always shake your buttermilk. And we pour it in just like this. And we make, you know, when you make your little bowl or your little nest down in there, your little biscuit nest, you pour your buttermilk in about 3/4 of the way up. I don't know if you guys, can you see that? See the buttermilk in there? And then you just start squeezing, and you're gonna break all that. I use Crisco solid, all vegetable. So right now we're just breaking that up. We're gonna break that up, because if you're making bread or anything like that, you know, they say to get your shortening or butter or whatever it is you're using about pea size. So once you kind of get it broke up, then you start from the side, and I twist my bowl. Some people do, some people don't. And then you just kind of stir it around and you work it in, okay? And we're gonna make this just a little bit more firm than what we usually do. And I am not going all the way down to the bottom. I'm staying in the liquid and stirring, okay? I'm pulling flour from the sides, not the bottom. That's how we keep our flour clean after this is all done, okay? So then I give it a little stir like this, and then you just continue to pull it in until you get a nice biscuit dough consistency. And again, give it a little stir. And I've got all that shortening built up down in there, broke up. I said built up. I got it all broke up. This is going to be a big batch. We might do some biscuits and some cinnamon rolls. All right. But you know, a little hard spot. I didn't get that out when I was sifting, I guess. It will pull in as much flour as it needs. All right. To get, you know, the proper consistency. Oh yeah, we're getting there. It's looking good. And I need to check on my bacon again, because I don't want it to burn. Oh yes, I believe it is about done. So what I'm going to do here real quick is I'm going to put some flour on my hand just like this, okay? And then I'm going to go just like this. That's a big reason why I don't wear rings on this hand. I do sometimes, mostly just a band. You don't want any kind of diamonds or stones or anything like that, because you're going to get biscuit dough in them. But you could just take them off, you know, before you did this. I just didn't. Okay, so now we're going to take our dough out, and if it doesn't all come out in one handful, then you just go back and you pick the rest of it up, just like that. All right. And again, I'm going to clean my hands. All right, and then I'm going to kind of fold this in and form a good dough. And my hands just got dirty again, right? I got to get that bacon out of there. All right, and we fold that over 4 or 5 times, but now because we're making cinnamon rolls, can you see how wet it still is? It's getting all over my hands, so we're going to need more flour. Oh, my oven is a beeping. It says I'm done. It says I'm done. Time to take me out. And we want to make sure that we have enough flour on whatever surface that you're using. I have a mat in there that I can use, but I just assume put flour out here, because then that's just another thing I gotta wash. Okay, so see, I don't know if you can tell, but now it's getting to where it's not quite as sticky, because we have to roll this out, and if you've got it super sticky, then it's not going to roll out properly. All right, let me wash my hands and get my bacon out. That's one thing when you're cooking, you know, they say wash your hands extra, wash your hands more. When you're cooking, you're going to wash your hands, and you're going to wash them a lot. And that's okay. You should. Everybody should keep their hands nice and clean. There we go. Bacon's looking good. Good, good, good. And I'm going to set that on there sideways so it don't get down in my grease. All right, now I wonder what I did with my fork. My goodness. Boy, I'm a mess, ain't I? I'm a mess. I make a mess in the kitchen, too. My mom always told me, well, I don't know how in the world, Libby, you make such a mess when you're cooking. But I do. All right, so now our bacon is done, and our sausage is almost there, too. Let me move. We're done with this. I can move that over here out of the way. All right, and we don't need this. We might need a little more flour. Let me put some more flour out here. That way I'll have it if I need it. And we're going to move that out of the way. We're going to move the buttermilk out of the way. All right, so let's get back to our dough. Flour my hands. Oh yeah, see, now it's looking good. And I'm not working it too hard. I don't want to work it too hard because I don't want them to be tough, okay? So, let me get my rolling pin. I don't know if you can see how it's not sticking to my hands so much anymore, okay? So we got the rolling pin. She did.
Outside in the grass.
Yeah, that's what doggies do. So we're gonna roll it. It's still kind of wet. Can you see how it's kind of pulling apart a little bit? Now it's gonna be some wet, but if it's too wet, we may have to add some more flour. Okay, cause see how it's sticking here? I think I'm gonna need my flour back. What do you think, buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nanny's gonna make us some cinnamon rolls this morning. There we go. Now we're getting it. Does that sound good to you?
They can't see what you're doing.
Uh-oh. Did it get turned? It did, didn't it? I wasn't paying attention. Let's see if I can. Oh, it's almost ready to fall off the... Oh, there we go. Now I think we can. Now, that's better.
I smell bacon.
Yeah, I got some bacon cooked. You know what? I think I'm going to make a couple of biscuits because there is a lot right here. So I'm going to make a couple of biscuits. And we want to make sure that our dough is not sticking to the, and it is, it's sticking to the table. So I'm going to have to get that up. So I'm just going to scrape that just like that.
Now they can see what
Because
you're doing.
when we try to roll it, you know, we don't want it stuck to the table, okay? So that's okay. We're just going to rework it a little bit.
Now I know. I remember how to shoot my bow outside.
You do? Did you find it?
Yep.
You did?
And I found just one arrow.
Oh, well, one's all you need. One at a time, right?
Yeah, I can't find no more.
You can't? Well, you keep looking. You might find them.
But
Alright.
hey, I picked the. Can I have a piece of bacon?
Sure, babe. Be careful because it's super hot. Do you want Nanny to reach it for you?
I got it. I got one. Look.
Yay!
Look.
Bacon is good, ain't it?
Look, I got a piece.
I see.
Oh, wow.
Uh-oh.
I can clean it off.
Just give that one to Roxy and you can get you another piece, okay? Give that one to Roxy and we'll get you another one.
Okay.
All right, now see, this is looking good. All right.
Whoa.
And you kind of want to make it
Look,
fairly even. Oh, yeah. Be careful, you got a hair on you. There you go. All right. So now what we're going to do, check our sausage. Our sausage is looking good. We are going to take butter and we're going to put butter all over this, just like that. And we're just going to coat it in butter. You know, because butter makes everything better, right?
I can't do anything with that.
And we're just going to coat this. And this butter is going to be the glue that holds our cinnamon and sugar together, okay? And you want to be generous with the butter. I mean, you know, don't get too much. You don't want it floating in butter, but you got to be generous with it. Roxy's over here sniffing, saying, what kind of treats can I find? Did you drop something, Mama? And just leave a tiny bit of an edge for when you get, you know, started with the roll, okay?
Baby,
Yes, baby.
I can't hear the TV again anymore.
It's Nanny. You know, the little bitty tiny remote?
Yeah.
That's the one you turn the volume up with, baby.
Okay.
Don't you love kids? Don't you just love having them, visiting, and spending time? So now I'm going to show you how we do our cinnamon sugar. First, we put some sugar. I've already got some in here, but I'm just going to show you how I mix mine up. I'll put about maybe a cup, or about 3/4 of a cup of sugar in here, okay? And then always get some good cinnamon because the taste on it is just so much different and so much better. So this is what I use. I get this at Aldi. I get a lot of my spices from there because they're always fresh, and this is an organic. Yes, baby, that's the one.
How do I turn it off?
This is the plus button to turn it up. This is the minus button to turn it down, okay? All right. And this is a brand new one. So, but Aldi's has good spices, and I try to either go there or I will go to, if I can get to the Amish. The Amish spices are so much better than anything you can buy at any store. So if you get to the Amish, do that. And you don't have to use as much when you get a good spice. So that's about 1/2 teaspoon. We'll put, we're going to put about 3 of those. So it'll be about 2 teaspoons, and then we're going to try it, and we're going to see if that's enough. Now this is apple pie spice, and this is what I get from the Amish, okay? And I put just a little bit of that because it has cinnamon, but it has a few other flavors. So I'm going to put about 1/2 teaspoon of that.
I can't get it.
You can't get it? All right, Nanny will be in there in a minute, and I've already put the sugar. And then I put in, this is a nutmeg. It's the nut, and if you can get it, the flavor on it is considerably different than what you can buy already ground. So I've got this, and this was actually a little refrigerator magnet, and I couldn't find the one I was looking for, so I got this, and it works. And then here's the nut. If you can see, see the nut. Okay, it just looks like a little, like almost like a little hickory nut, but it's a nutmeg. And then we do a few little, you don't put much because this is a very strong flavor, okay? You know, maybe 10 or 12 little grates. And then we put the lid on. We give it a little shake, shake, shake. And then we look in there, give it a good smell. And I'm gonna pour just a little bit in this lid. Wet my finger. And try it. Very good. Very good. So now we're gonna put our lid back on our cinnamon because we do not want that to get spilled. And we're just gonna sprinkle this on very liberally. Sprinkle that on. Oh, I got a chunk. We're just gonna throw that out. And we want every spot covered, okay? Just like that. All right, and now what you're gonna do, let me see if I can pull it over here so you can see. You wanna very, very gently, because this is a fragile dough right now. We're gonna very, very gently roll that up, okay? And if it starts to stick, that's okay. We can take care of that. If it starts to stick, what you can do is get a good flat metal spatula, okay? And you get flour on it. And then you just kind of slide it. Let me see if I can bring it in so you can see where it's kind of starting to stick. Right here. So you just slide it underneath just like that, okay? You're not rolling with your spatula, you're just loosening that up, okay? So now let's see if we can get you back over here. And you want to continue your roll. You know, you could do this with, say, wax paper. And if it starts to stick, again, you get in here and you continue to roll, okay? And it's this one spot right here that keeps sticking on me, but that's okay, we can fix that. All right, and we want to keep plenty of flour out here because we got to cut them still, okay? All right. And we got a little hole, so all you got to do is just kind of dab that back together and pinch it together and it'll stick right together, okay? Now I'm going to get this out of my way. Get me a good sharp knife. Bring my bowl, my pan over here. All right, and then we're just going to give it a good cut. And you got to use a sharp knife because if you don't, your roll's not going to turn out just right. There you go. Okay, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of cut this in half so I can get them closer to the same size. And if your knife starts to stick, you do the same thing. You put some flour on it, okay? And it'll go through there better. So that's 4. We're gonna have nice big rolls.
Where's the strawberry?
I don't know if I have any strawberry, baby. I got cherry and that one's cherry and fruit punch. We like water. We like flavoring in our water, don't we?
Yeah.
All right. So now I've got these cups.
Look.
And see, you can kind of see what they look like, and they're big. Thick ones. Okay, hold on, I'll show you.
Oh, that looks cool.
Cinnamon rolls. Do you like cinnamon rolls?
Yeah, I love that.
And then I will show you the icing that we make to put on them as soon as I get them in my oven. They're big, thick, chunky cinnamon rolls.
Chocolate?
Chunky.
Oh.
Big, thick, chunky cinnamon rolls.
I thought you said chocolate.
No, they're chunky.
But I thought you said chocolate for a minute.
You did. And you don't want to squish them too much, but I do want to get them all in here.
Question, but Paul's not out there in the chair anymore.
He's not. No, I'm sure he's out there fooling around doing something. All right.
He's in the barn.
Oh, is he? And then I'm gonna pick some of this cinnamon sugar up and put that on there. And then we're gonna put cinnamon sugar on the top. And like I said, I have my oven on 400 degrees. And we're gonna bake these about maybe 15 minutes. So at about 7 to 10 minutes, I wash my hands again. At about 7 to 10 minutes, we are going to take those out, put a little bit more butter on top of them, and put a little bit more sugar on them, okay? We'll melt the butter and kind of pour it over top. So I'm going to stick these in. And our sausage rolls look to be just about done. So I'm going to pull those out and look at them. And that way you guys can see them before. Oh, it is hot, 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 hot. All right. All right. Now, let's see if I can get one of these up here. Get my little spatula. And I will show you what they look like. Oh yes, they're very done. All right. That's the only thing about putting the foil down is the foil slides when you try to pick them up, right? Okay. But if you let them cool a little bit, they'll come up a lot easier. So that's what I'll do. I just wanted to show you guys what they look like. Can you see them? Oh, they are so yummy, yummy, yummy. They're very, very good. So now let's make our icing before I let you guys off of here. We will make that up real quick. Won't take but a minute. And grab a bowl. Alright. So now we need a little more butter. And some powdered sugar. So we're going to put, oh, say, if I'd have thought about it ahead of time, I could have put it on the stove and let it be melting. But I'll just stick it in the microwave. I'm going to start with about 4 pats of butter, okay? And I'm going to stick this in the microwave. And let that be melting up. And then we're going to get out our powdered sugar and let me straighten all this up just for a second. Alright. Oh, there went my biscuit cutter. Let's see. I need my little scraper so I can get some of this mess up. Do the clean as you go thing, right? And I love my little, this is called a bench scraper. I use this thing a lot. Alright, good deal. Butter's melted. And you know what? I'm going to stick these biscuits in there too. Let's see. I'll just use a little bit of bacon grease on there. Because we got a couple of biscuits to put in. And I just put some bacon grease in there. That'll make them good, right? So I'm going to stick these in the oven. Alright. Now, icing. Where'd my little towel go? Here it is. Let me get a fork and a spoon. And I'm going to need some vanilla. We'll do this. I know I didn't mean to make this little video quite so long. I thought I was prepared when I got on here, but I wasn't. So we're going to just start with, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. And we're going to put in a little vanilla. That was about maybe a capful of vanilla. And we're going to get this started just like this. And we want to get all that butter and that sugar kind of mixed in there together. And then we get that in. And we get that going just like that. All right. And then we're going to need just a tiny bit of milk. And you know what? I tell you what I'm going to use instead of milk. I'm going to put a little bit of heavy cream in there. That'll make it good. Well, I've got to open it first. Paul just came in from outside. He's been out there cleaning up and messing around. And we got a fire going. We got to go out and sit by the fire this morning and have our coffee out there. And you know what I can do? It's a little lumpy because I didn't sift my powdered sugar, and I always usually do that, but I didn't this morning, did I? All right, so we're gonna do this, and we're gonna need more powdered sugar because we don't want our icing real thick, but we don't want it real thin either. All right. And we have a lot of cinnamon rolls in there that we have to ice in, so. And I want to give it a little taste. Oh, very good. Very good. I'm going to put three more heaping tablespoons of powdered sugar in. And a little bit more cream. If you don't use heavy cream a lot, I tell you what you can do. You can get it and put it in an ice cube tray. And fill that ice cube tray up and put it in there and freeze it, because it freezes really well. And once it's good and frozen, you pop it out of the ice cube tray. However many you need, 1 ice cube, 2 ice cubes. You can measure it before you put it in there, and that way you know exactly how much goes in each one. I'm thinking it's like a 1/16 of a cup that goes in. I think I measured that one time. So 2 of them is like 1/8 of a cup, I think. Don't quote me on that because I'm not positive. I'm really not. But you can see all the lumps came right out. And that's our good, sweet. And you want it kind of thick because they're going to be warm when you bring them out. So it's going to melt down in there. And so that's a plain, basic vanilla icing. You would want it a little thicker for a cake so that it'll hold up. But that's just a plain, simple vanilla icing is all that is. You know, I'm sure everybody knows how to make a vanilla icing. So that's that. And so now I got my bacon done. I got my sausage done. My cinnamon rolls are cooking. I'm going to throw, and I even have a couple of biscuits. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to throw some eggs in there. We're going to call that breakfast, right? Scramble up a few eggs. I just want to thank you guys. I know this video was longer than a lot of them are, and I want to thank y'all for hanging in there with me and seeing this. Cinnamon rolls are not quite done, but you know, I could bring you over here and let you see them, and then I'll post a picture of the completed cinnamon rolls. Let's see if I can get you in there so that you can see them. Can you see them? And that, look, my biscuits are rising up. Look how much they rose up above the pan. So I just wanted to show you guys that. And then when they brown, it'll probably take them about maybe 15. Let me straighten y'all up a little bit. 15 to 20 minutes, something like that. You just got to keep an eye on them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I want to thank you guys so much for hanging in there with me. I'm sorry it was so long today, but I hope that you have enjoyed this. And you know, you can make those cinnamon rolls with regular old canned biscuits. You can get those sheet croissant rolls, or just regular croissants, and pinch the seams together, and you can make cinnamon rolls that way. The croissant ones are really good. So you guys try that. Get in the kitchen, do a little cooking. It's simple, it's easy. Use your imagination. Use what you got. Like today, you know, I used up a bunch of things that only had a tiny bit in it. So, I love y'all. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful Sunday. Take time to thank the Lord for all our blessings, because we're all truly, truly blessed. And if you just stop and think about it, you don't have to look too hard to find those blessings. So y'all have a wonderful day. God bless.